lot of maintenance to my apple trees in my garden. I'm growing a lot of them, and I have got some of them that have unfortunately died, and I've got a lot of them like this one which is actually growing, and basically I'm just going to be doing some stuff to either help them and potentially grow some new ones. So this one here, to start off with, fortunately is suffering a bit this year. This was the biggest one that I grew last year, and it's hard to show on the camera, but this is how big it actually grew the first year. And then from then it hasn't really grown because it got really badly infected with aphids and ants and white fluffy aphids, and I forgot what they're called, but they're not very good, and a lot, to the point where it hasn't really grew this year. But also with the fluffy aphids there's also a problem where there potentially be some in the roots, and it could potentially damage and kill it. So what I'm going to be doing is try and replant it in a pot, a bigger one, and while doing so, hopefully I can see if the roots are infected with some white aphids, but also we should hopefully prompt to start growing again, because like I said, this was my biggest tree that I grew, and it grew a lot quicker than the rest, and I was hoping maybe if it kept growing again, like the pace that it was. So, first things first, we are going to have to prep this pot. I'm going to be making this pot, and I've also done it on my channel already. I'm going to be putting some bamboo sticks inside, prompt them up, so then it should be able to secure the apple tree in place, and not just have one single stick, because they don't really suit these pots. Like this one, it just comes really loose. So, let's get me tools and let's do it. Right, so let's get this into view, like this. Bamboo, there it is. Right, here's the bamboo that I'm going to be using. So, first thing you've got to do is make the holes in the pot first. I haven't got a big enough drill bit, so I've got to elongate it, but it's plastic pots anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's quite easy to do. Let's see if this make it a bit bigger. There we go, just like that. Now we'll secure it with a couple of cable ties to keep it in place. So I need a smaller stay. Right. Right, just line the first one up, like so. Three out, just so you know you already got the three. So, so it's quite fiddly for some reason today. Back through. There we go. So that's the first one. So the next two should be a lot easier. So So now we're just doing this just to try and reinforce it a bit more. There we go. Alright, we've got cable ties out. Go. Sweet. Just like that. Voila. So now we just do it on the opposite side, and that should create our strength to support the apple tree. Go. This side's bigger. This side. This one's a bit tight, but it should still work. There we go. Oh crap! Smashed the camera right up. There you go. Nice. So we do the same thing again. Secure this bad boy. Go. I haven't got a lot of room working there. There we go. Number 2. Right, so that is what it should look like. Obviously I'm going to have to cut the cable tie ends, but this should be the main structure of what we're going to be able to support in the apple tree with. So instead of it just being in the pot, it's actually attached to the pot, so it's a lot more prettier. Right, let's cut these bad boys off. Nice. Right, so that's the pot done. So the pot is now ready. So what we're going to do, we'll bring this over. Right, so this is going to be the worrying part now. We're going to see how damaged this plant actually is. We're going to basically dig it up, see what it's like inside. So what we'll do, we'll get rid of some of these cable ties in a minute because it's full of cable ties from last year when it was obviously supporting it. And then cut this one off here. So, yeah, not very sturdy at all. That's what happens with young apple trees. They're not very sturdy at all. They're very, very flimsy actually. So it is quite important to try and keep them up straight, otherwise they won't grow straight. They'll just grow on an angle. Right. So